So much for joining us tonight for our Mackinac Rendezvous Leader Orientation meeting. It's great fun to be able to do this every 2 years with you and to participate in a superb scouting event called the Mackinac Rendezvous. My name is Mike Solgrove, and I have the honor to be the chairman of the 2015 Mackinac Rendezvous. At this point, we'd like to say thank you to the crowd of folks that have joined us in the room tonight. Thank you so much for your time and patience with us. And also thank you to all those who are on YouTube and watching us through live streaming. We appreciate you joining us tonight and being a part of this. This is our first ever show, so there might be a few little mistakes and bobbles along the way, but we'll get through it and do the very best we can. Please remember there's a delay time between what you see on air and what we do up front, so that'll affect somewhat in the question answering. Do go to our website, click onto your YouTube site, and send questions to us anytime you'd like. We have a way of making sure that we can record those and answer your questions anytime we can. Those in the audience, if you have a question, if you'd please either just hold them to the appropriate time. We'll do those that are part of our question and answer, if that's okay with you. At this point, I'd like to introduce our Supreme Chief of the Fire, our Council Scout Executive, Kevin Nichols. Kevin is started with us in 2014, doing a super job as a Council Scout Executive, far better than that guy that was before him, thank goodness. And so we're very glad to have Kevin with us. Unfortunately, right now he's down at the National Top Hands meeting with the Boy Scouts of America, so he was kind enough to give us an excellent videotaping. So, Kevin, you're on.
Hello, Scouts and Scouters. I'm Kevin Nichols, Scout Executive of the President Ford Field Service Council, the host council for the Mackinac Rendezvous, a signature program event since 1987. For 28 years and 14 previous rendezvous weekends, thousands of Scouts and Scouters from across Michigan, including the 25 counties of the President Ford Field Service Council, have gathered in Mackinac City and Mackinac Island to enjoy all that the area offers. Please join us in continuing that tradition in 2015 by participating in the 15th Mackinac Rendezvous weekend. This will be my first time as a participant and a member of the planning committee, and I've had the pleasure to serve as an advisor to an outstanding group of volunteers who have spent several months planning a great program for you. I'm excited to be part of it, and I know you'll enjoy the weekend full of fun and adventure. So join us and hundreds of others at the 2015 Mackinac Rendezvous. See you there.
Words and hope that you're having safe travels to and from the Dallas area. As I said to you at the beginning, I'm honored to be the chairman this time for a couple of reasons. First of all, I had the chance to be the staff advisor to several of these, and that was great fun over the years. And I don't think I've ever been a part of a scouting program that I enjoy more than the Mackinac Rendezvous. It's just a great fun, it's a great trip. It's so easily planned, and because of the great help we get from a wonderful staff and the folks up at the Mackinac City and the St. Ignace area, and of course all the people on the island who literally bend over backwards to assist us in this endeavor. It's just great to have them on the team. I'm also honored because I've had the chance to work with a remarkable team of people. Some 60 members of our staff have already signed up, on our way to over 100. They'll participate as members of the staff of this rendezvous. I'm grateful to every one of them, but particularly to those who serve as team leaders, and many of them for multiple rendezvous, but also to those who serve as the new assistant team leaders this year. They have been working at this since this past December 2013, and have just put a lot of thought and time and money and effort and great skill into putting together a great plan. I'm also honored because I had the chance to fulfill a promise made by the previous chairman, Alex Castro. Alex agreed with me when I was a Scout Executive in 2012 that he would serve for twice as the Rendezvous Chairman for the Mackinac Rendezvous. He was able to do that in 2013, but sadly we lost him to cancer and was not able to complete that. He and I spent a lot of time on the phone talking about the Rendezvous 2015, and so I have the opportunity to fulfill his dream and his wishes and to be a part of that, and it's a great honor to do so. Truly a remarkable scout leader who spent his time and talents at every single rendezvous from 1987 and in spirit to 2015. A remarkable man, and I appreciate having the chance to do that. Tonight's agenda is going to flow over several key team leaders. We're going to talk about such things as a fast and smooth check-in, how to set up your weekend home at the Mackinac, at the Mill Creek site area. Talked about how to keep us safe and accounted for through security. Talk about our well-being and our safety through our health team. To talk about our great trading posts that we offer, and we offer 4 different of those. To talk about our ever-popular passport program and what that's all about. And of course, our awesome program team that has spent a great deal of time coming up with some very unique and unusual and special programs for this particular rendezvous, and I'm very proud of them. After that, we'll do a few reminder and last-minute catch-ups that I will accomplish, as well as doing any in-the-room question and answers, as well as any that have not been covered on the inline side. Again, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. It's my great privilege to introduce the first on deck to present to you tonight, the guru of all things check-in and registration. Would you join me in welcoming, please, Dee Snyder. Come on, Dee. I told you there'd be a follow, didn't I? Dee Barber. Here you are, Dee. Sorry for that.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, Brian.
You're used to that by me.
Mackinac Rendezvous number 15. Wow. Registration is going to be in the northwest corner of what is known as the Rally Building. It will be well marked. It will be, there are a lot of people out there, security and others, who are going to be directing you. So just follow their directions and it's no problem. You'll get there. Your scouters, follow directions. Remember that. Registration will open at noon on Friday, September 18th. And I have 2 big hints. One is to alphabetize your papers. This is especially helpful if you are a large unit. And the other is to make multiple copies of all of your paperwork. What you will need your unit registration confirmations. They will come in the mail from the Scout office the first part of September. Make sure they are complete, correct, and it helps to be legible, please. Any changes that you need to make, last-minute changes that you need to make, will have to be made in the Rally Building before you leave there. And that holds up everybody else. You should also have medical history forms, parts A and B, for all your individuals. That means youth and adults. Once again, complete and correct. Drivers should have medical forms for all the passengers in their vehicles, and that's it. Medical forms for all their passengers. Unit trailers are going to be allowed back into the sites. Security, physical arrangements will tell you where to go, but make sure you do not send your paperwork with the driver of that vehicle, because that one goes off somewhere, not with you. You will come in with 1 packet of information, you will go out with 2. At registration, you will receive a packet of many items. Among the items in the packets, and these will be addressed by other members of the team, are the colored dashboard sheets, wristbands, passport books, and an evaluation sheets, and who knows what other goodies we come up with. But like I said, they'll all be explained. If you have everything complete, concise, in order, the Super Registration Committee will get you through in and out in short order. So have a great rendezvous experience.
Thank you.
And coming up, Jerry Keist.
Jerry.
So my job is to get you to your campsites, get you all set up, and get you ready to go. The first thing, the foremost thing is to make sure you have your unit registered and as many people by September 1, because shortly after September 1 I assign campsites. So if you got 10 in there now and you add more after I've assigned your campsite, you got 30, uh-oh, your campsite's going to be a little small. So make sure you get registered. Everybody's going by September 1. When you get there, the vehicle with the trailer, if you have a trailer, will be in the right-hand lane. That will be express check-in. Basically, you're going to go in. My staff will pick you up at that point when you get there, and they're going to take you right to your campsite. Everybody else is going to go in the left-hand lane, going to go to registration, CD, and do their thing there. So make sure you the paperwork goes with the right vehicle, and we'll get everything done. If you're already registered and you have other people coming up later, just have them call ahead, meet you in the right-hand express lane. They'll meet you, your other leaders that are already there, take you to your campsite. Do not need to go see D and bother D in registration because you're already registered. So make sure you do that. Like she said, you'll be assigned to a color group. Staff, between my staff and security, you will be directed to your color group tent, which at that point you'll be assigned a campsite. And then my staff will direct you to that campsite, lead you there, make sure you get everything set up. Once you're in your site, make sure you get your stuff unpacked, and then head on out to parking. The biggest thing there is follow directions. There are one-way streets in that whole area. Make sure we're all following the directions of the streets. Campsites-wise, there's a lighted sign right at the entrance of Mackinac. It'll be out there. It'll say Mackinac Rendezvous. That is not the main entrance of the campground. It is the back entrance. So make sure you follow that when you see it, just as you're coming out of town. The registration building, a lot of stuff will be happening there. We'll go over all that at the leaders meeting. If you want to leave your vehicle in your campsite, that is fine as long as it stays attached to your trailer. If you decide you want to go do sightseeing and unattach it from your trailer, means it has to go to the parking area after you come back. As far as anything else, the biggest thing is do not bring campfire wood. The campground is going to supply all the campfire wood, fire rings if you need them. If you have your own fire ring, that's fine. But as far as campfire wood, they do not want you to bring any. They will supply all that. And if anybody has any questions, the two things I have is if you want to camp next to another unit, let me know. I will make sure you get put next to another unit. And also if you need electricity, there's only about 5 sites in this campground that have electricity. I've already had one unit contact me about it, but if you need that or anything special, please let me know. My email is in all that paperwork somewhere, so please email me and let me know. But other than that, security, I'll send you off to Kevin.
Thanks, Jerry. Jerry said a lot of things that are security will be taken care of. Again, check-in does start at noon, and there will be a marked entrance. Like we said, it'll have a large sign, and at night time it'll be lit. During the daylight hours, you'll be able to see a leader with a large hat on, and that's a good sign that you're getting close to where you need to go. Again, also, if you have a unit with a trailer, you need to be in the right-hand lane. That's an important feature of this. It's like an express lane. They go right directly to the site itself, while everybody else is in the left lane, goes to registration. And like Jerry said, those vehicles must be attached at all times to stay in the campsite. Drivers are asked to stay with their vehicle. The only person that needs to go into registration is the unit leader with all the information. Nobody else needs to go in there. You will be directed where to go and where to park your car while you're waiting for him. Once you get your registration packet, it'll be a colored card in there that goes in your dash and stays in there for the weekend. So it'll have information on who to contact in case the vehicle has problems or we need to move it or something of that nature. When you arrive at your group's campsite, unload your stuff and then move your car. Site setup can be done by a group of people, but the cars can be taken to the parking lot as quickly as possible so we don't have a lot of cars in the road. There will be shuttle service back and forth from the parking lot to there. If you have a wheelchair, if somebody is in a wheelchair or some type of handicap that needs the car, special considerations will be made for that vehicle. And if you leave, if you get in your parking lot and you decide you want to go into town, you take your car, you do not need to go back through the registration area, you go back to the regular Mill Creek area opening. That way you can get to the site. And that's mostly for Friday. On Saturday and Friday night, we'll discuss things for Saturday, and on Saturday night, we'll discuss things for Sunday that will affect your leaders. So, okay, and that's all I have. The next person in line is Kurt Sherman.
All right. Good job, sir.
Hello. The first aid tent will be located east of the rally building. It will be staffed at all times while troops are in camp, but not while they're on the island trip. My staff consists of experienced EMS personnel and other healthcare professionals. While we're on the island, if an emergency medical situation should evolve, you may use the medical center that's located on the hospital. Please have a copy of your health form with you while you're on the island, youth and adult. An axe yard is required if you will be using any woods tools while you're in camp. Be prepared for changing weather conditions. Bring appropriate clothing for warm, dry, cold, wet weather. And don't forget a water bottle while you're on the island. Next, Al Snyder will be talking about training posts.
All right, good job.
Thanks, Kurt. The training posts, we're going to have 4 training posts this year. The one is going to be from the National Council, so if you don't have your Boy Scout knife stuff, come see them. I'm sure they're going to hook you up on that. The second one is for all the OA stuff. So like if you forgot your sash or your toxin or you want a new one, not a problem. We'll get you covered. Come see Jim, he'll take care of you. The third one, you want to bring extra money to the trading post because we got this really cool food stuff. And if you're late, running late, didn't get time to get anything to eat, come see us. We got some specials going on. Make sure you bring extra money for that. And the most important thing, if you want to order some, there's this pre-order forms that when you go on the website, print them off, print them, and follow the instructions. That way we can guarantee you guys your shirt size, your mugs, and anything else that's on there. Some special patches where you only can get them online here. So if you don't happen to bring those, we will have extra stuff there, but it'll be very limited and very limited sizes. So what I always say, bring extra money, don't spend it on island, come and see me at the trading post. Next up is my brother, Carl.
Here, here, well done, well done.
Thanks, Al. My name is Carl Palm. I'm the team leader for the Passport, which has been around since 1997. Each Mackinac Rendezvous, we improve the Passport a little bit. This year is no different. This Passport is bigger and better than previous years. Everything you need about the weekend, Mackinac Rendezvous weekend, is in this Passport. We have schedules for the weekend, leaders meetings and such. We also have schedule for the island on Saturday. There's maps in here of the campground and also a map of Mackinac Island, so you know your way around. We've added the history, some of the history of Mackinac Rendezvous over the years since 1987. One of the other things we've added is a little brief history of each rendezvous by the chairs of those rendezvous. So that's amongst the new things we've added this year to the Passport. One thing I would highly recommend to everyone is that you go see Fort Holmes. They've rebuilt Fort Holmes up on the hill. Many of you maybe have been there before when it was just some wood in the ground, but they've totally rebuilt this. It's brand new, just this year. Fort Holmes played a prominent part in the opening of the War of 1812. Thank you. Next up is Sue Palma.
Good job, Carl. Well done.
I am Sue Palma, and I am the program team leader. I'm going to talk to you about program items that are going to go on during the weekend, and it's going to be in the form of an acrostic that spells out Mackinac with a C at the end. That's because it keeps me focused, and then you know that I won't talk all night.
Here, here.
M is for more time on the island. This year we have added an extra hour on the island. You have more time to visit the fort, eat some fudge, have fun with friends. We have 6 fantastic hours on the island this year. Awesome. A is for a ride under the bridge. I am excited about this. Have you ever wondered what the bottom of the Mackinac Bridge looks like? I never have, because who would ever get a chance to see it? We do. On ferries, The ferries on the way back are gonna go under the Mackinac Bridge. They're gonna pause so that we can take some pictures and some pictures of our friends and selfies. And I think it's gonna be awesome. It'll be cool. C is Cannon, another thing I'm really excited about. We're gonna rock your world with a cannon that can shoot a 6-pound ball 1,400 yards. And we're gonna shoot it off like 25 times throughout the weekend. So I'm sure you will hear it and feel it, no matter where you are in the campground. K is for, okay, we heard you. We take our evaluations seriously. And people talked about having a more relaxing time on Saturday evening. So we're gonna have relaxed time that you can just enjoy with your troop or your friends and other troops. It's just gonna be easy-going night. I just want you to know that if you have something that you want, don't like, put it on the evaluation, okay? Because we do read them. We read every single one. Trust me. Scouts honor. I is for inflatables. The infamous inflatables are back. We're going to give you some more airtime, so we're going to run them on Friday from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. So when you get your campsite set up, saunter on over to the slides. The biggest one's this side of Mackinac Bridge. And it's for nice stamps. This year, passport stamps, we're just going to have some fun with them. We have other things going on, so we want you to just come around on Friday evening, Saturday evening, Sunday morning. We'll be stamping by the rally building, by the inflatables. Bring your passport and let's just have some fun and get some cool stamps. They are very nice. C is for cash, as in geocache, not cash like Al. We will again have 2 temporary caches on the island. And we will have the Queen of Geocache, Mary Cooper, who will be there on the island to assist anybody who might get lost. But she will also put on some instructional sessions on Friday night at 7 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. And they explain how to geocache, some proper etiquette. She's awesome. I saw it last time. She's got some great slides, great presentations. Okay. Last one, because I have 10 seconds, right, is Mackinac, like Mackinac City with a W. W is for Weebelows. Do not forget your Weebelows. Okay, great recruiting item. Weebelows. Don't leave home without them.
Hear, hear.
Next up is Pat Schimmels.
All right, good job, Steve. Good job.
I'm here to talk about the Best of the Best Troop Challenge. It is a photo contest like no other, and if you haven't already started your photo contest with your troop, now's the time to start. We want no artistic ability, that's not required. What we're looking for is scout excitement, spirit, and creativity, and we know you've all got that. The challenge starts, like I said, right away, so if you haven't started, there's still time, but do it now. Get your troop to make signs, banners, flags, whatever kind of flair they can come up with to identify themselves and Mackinac Rendezvous 15, and have those in each of the photos I want you to take on the website. So make sure that you get to that website and get that list. Be silly, be serious, be historical, or be hysterical. The object is to have fun and show it. Everything you need, again, is on the website. Get going, get your scouts making their flair right away, and then get snapping photos. We will download all those photos either if you've got hashtag, you can put them on online and we'll download them from there. Or if you've got SD cards, discs, however you store them, bring those to us on Saturday evening. There'll be specific instructions in your registration packet. Bring those to us on Saturday and we'll be up half the night giggling over them and trying to decide who is the best of the best. Next up, for our next challenge is Susie Blake.
Good job, Pat. Perfect.
Well, Pat, I don't know if the photo challenge is the best challenge. I think The Gateway Challenge is the best challenge.
Oh.
It's a little bit of a challenge.
Oh.
Are your scouts creative? Do they have mad scout skills? Do they like to build things? Then the Gateway Challenge is for you. And it's a brand new event that you can participate in if you want. It's completely voluntary. And it's all about designing a great gateway to the entrance of your Mackinac Rendezvous campsite. What we will be doing is you need to bring all your materials in and bring all your materials out. Think leave no trace. You can let registration know that you're participating, but actually the best way to let us know that you're participating in any of the program activities is to go online and fill in the survey. And you can check off whether you're in the geocaching or the photo challenge or the gateway challenge. It's just nice to know ahead of time who's doing what. So bring your materials in, bring your materials out. We will be having judging, and you can start building right away as soon as you get to your campsite. And we will be judging the different gateways per color group. And there'll be recognition given to the top 2 places in each color group, plus the overall winner. And that judging will be taking place on Sunday morning, bright and early. All the details on the Gateway Challenge are going to be online in a handout. There are 6 criteria that the judges are going to be looking for. So again, check online for the handout to make sure that you include all of those criteria in your gateway. 2 important things again, bring it in, take it out, and also we can't allow anybody to dig posts in the ground, so make sure that your gateways are freestanding. All the information is online. Don't forget to fill in the survey so we know what you're participating in, and we look forward to having a lot of fun, and may the best gateway win.
Here, here.
Jen Betts is going to tell us about OA Fellowship.
All right, good job.
Hello, folks. Thank you for joining us. We are going to have a terrific time. We're asking all Arrowmen, you are all invited to a terrific celebratory 100-year celebration for all the lodges in our council. We're going to celebrate the 13 centennials of our lodge, and we are also going to have a special commemorative patch for all of the brothers who come to our fellowship that Saturday evening. We invite anyone and everyone who is a brother that would like to attend to please do so. You can go online to get details for information to know how to do that. You don't necessarily need to be part of the Mackinac Rendezvous event to attend this event, but you do need to register to let us know that you're coming. Again, make sure you go online for details. That way, if you have any questions or how you're going to register your brothers, you can do so there. Any questions? Let us know. Mike, back to our chairman.
Thank you, Jen. Did I not tell you I was a lucky guy? Aren't these people super?
Yeah.
Great job. Thanks everybody. You did a super job tonight. I really appreciate your input and your information and the great job that you did. All right, it's time for questions and answers, so let's do a little bit of that if we can. Are there any questions from the room that we need to address? Don't be bashful. Yes, sir.
If I have one scout that cancels and another that wants to go, can we just switch them out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do send us a note on that, though. It'd be helpful.
All right. And go
ahead. Go ahead.
We're planning not to take our trailer, but to pack a pickup truck. Do we still get in the left lane, or the pickup that has a large supply stay in the right lane?
I think
Yes, still get in the right-hand lane, go to the express, check in, we'll get you your site, get you.
It's still treated as a trailer, so yes.
Okay.
So yes, if you're not bringing a trailer, using a truck, stay in the right-hand lane.
The last question, what is inflatables?
Great question. Have you seen these very huge things that you blow up and then play on them?
Okay.
Well, we're going to have a whole bunch of them there.
All right. Is it going to be wet or dry?
Yes.
Yes.
Next question.
So the packing list going to include swimsuit?
Absolutely. Maybe, not really.
Maybe 32 degrees that day?
Exactly. You wear whatever you think you can get away with, baby. I understand. All right, another question. Thank you.
Good question. For the weed blows, if we don't have a final number before September 1st, we need to add weed blows after that date. Is it at the $80 or the $100?
Yes. No, it's at the regular fee.
Okay.
for adding on,
Adding on.
but only because it's Webelos, not adding on other Boy Scouts,
Yep.
adding on Webelos.
Okay.
Okay? We really, I can't emphasize enough how important it is for all of us that have a scout troop to be courting those Webelos now, and we've changed it. One of the 15 new things for 2015 is what we've made it so that all Webelos can come with their groups. So both first year and second year Webelos are welcome to join us and be a part of it. You don't want to miss out on that because we're doing a very special patch just for Webelos, kind of similar to the Cub Scout Adventureland patch, which is a half patch for the Webelos there, but we'll also have a half patch here that brings them not only to this event, but the event that's occurring in this council in 2016.
I love that, by the way, because it was great they had Webelos 1, Webelos 2s, because obviously with Webelos 2s, you only crop every other year.
Yep. Well, that's exactly why we did, so thank you. All right, other questions? Yes, ma'am?
Do the Webelos have to have a parent with them?
No, the Webelos don't have to have a parent with them, but if you look on the document, there's a number that we would prefer. So it wouldn't be 8 Webelos and 1 adult. So the more adults that are with the Webelos, the better, obviously. I find it's much more conducive for the kids if their parents are there or other leaders are there. Experience has taught us different things in different troops. Some troops do a great job on a one-on-one, some do a good job on a one-on-3. I recommend what's best for the troop in their conversation with their Webelos leaders. Okay, other questions? Yes, sir.
The building, okay, I know we can't bring firewood in. We're gonna build a gateway. Are we allowed to bring in logs and stuff for that?
You are, but just for those. As long as we're not burning them or doing anything, and they go back with you, we can use them for the event. Okay? Don't be bashful about using non-logs either. PVC pipes, other things as well. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
And also just to clarify about the Gateway Challenge and materials, please don't plan on going and cutting down things at the campground.
Yeah, no.
That's not part of the challenge.
Yeah.
That's not a scout skill that we'll be looking for.
Yeah, please no cutting of anything at the campgrounds. They take a dim view of that, I promise you. Kind of like the wildlife service, they take a dim view of that kind of scout conduct. So good point, Susan. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Our crew doesn't have field uniforms. Is it okay if we wear our standard Class B?
Whatever is your venture crew uniform, you may wear that. Okay? But I would hope that if they're there, they're all going to look pretty much close to the same. All right, so if their shirt is a golf shirt and blue jeans, that's cool, as long as I see them all in blue jeans and things. Otherwise, we've got to remember we're representing the Boy Scouts of America, so uniform is most appropriate. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Are the medical forms to be turned in at registration, or is the troop to hold on to them?
I think it's a great question for Kurt. How do we do that?
You're turning them in at registration, but if you could have an extra copy to take to the island, because we've had...
We did not collect them last time.
Oh, we did not? Okay.
We did not collect them last time.
We clarified they had them. Okay. So, clarification on it, thank you for the question. Obviously, let us do a little check and balance on our own here. So, the answer is you will keep the health forms, but you do have to let us know that you have them, and if we call for them, meaning there's a medical emergency, you have them, and they have to be on the island. Okay? Does that cover, guys? Perfect. Great. Another question?
Scout attire on the island, uniforms tucked in?
Yes, please. I cannot emphasize enough that it's terribly important that we remember that we're in a very public place and we represent the Boy Scouts of America. We don't represent your community. We don't even represent this council. As far as the community is concerned, we are the Boy Scouts of America on that island. And I and my staff have a very low tolerance of anything that examples otherwise to that. So I would be very encouraging of you making sure that your scouts have their shirts tucked in, looking sharp, acting sharp, and doing things according to the Scout Oath and law. Great question. Others? Well, let me share with you then, if I may, a few last minute issues that I think are important for you to be kept up on and be able to know about. First of all, my experience, and this is my 10th Mackinac Rendezvous to be a part of in some manner or another, I have to tell you that from my experience, the number one thing that causes a scout unit, a scout troop, or a venture crew to get in trouble at the rendezvous is that they haven't communicated clearly to everybody possible what's going on. It's one of the things I love about this particular taping tonight, so that we can go back and scout leaders can show this to their entire committee, or they can show it to their families, they can show it at their patrol leader councils, at troop meetings, or at crew meetings, and let everybody know as much information as possible. Secondly, I want you getting to those social sites that we've got set up for this, the Facebook that's set up for the Mackinac Rendezvous, as well as all of the stuff that we have online at the Mackinac Rendezvous site in the council website. Great stuff. It's important that you get to it. I cannot stress it enough. The more prepared your scout troop and venture crew is for a great time, the greater your time will be. The more you've built up this energy and made it something that they want to be excited about, then the more excited they will be. That's why I love Pat and her challenge for the photos, because you get to spend all this time getting ready for and promoting and taking great pictures of preparing for this Mackinac Rendezvous. Come prepared as a unit. Don't wait anything to the last minute. Don't communicate to your parents at the last minute. Don't communicate to your scouts at the last minute. Get everything out there ahead of time as quickly as you possibly can. Come prepared. Use those experiences to your best site. Get to that website. We're expecting attendance like most of these rendezvous in excess of 1,000 people, closer to 1,200 people. That's a lot of people for the security people to worry about, for the registration people to worry about, for the health officers to worry about, for the program people to worry about, for all of us to make sure that everybody gets where they need to be, how they need to be, and why they need to be. It is terribly important that all of us as leaders understand that, do everything we can to be partners in the success of this rendezvous. It is the reason why we do this meeting and make it a required meeting for all 50 of the troops that are signed up, and crews that are signed up. But it's also the reason why we have a Friday night leaders meeting and a Saturday night leaders meeting. I can't tell you the number of times I've had an issue come up at the rendezvous, and when we got down to talking about it, they didn't even know that we talked about it the night before because the troop wasn't represented at the leaders meeting. Please, please, please do everything that you can to make sure that you're there and a part of it. One more point to crews and to scout troops. Many of our scout troops tell me that they make contact with their schools and that their teachers are willing to release their kids with credit on Friday to come to the event early because it's a Mackinac history. It's all about American history and the program that's related to it. So it's a great thing to come and be a part of. That's been true for every time we've done this since back to 1987. Make that a point of trying to be there. We're starting the program different this year because we're going to begin sharp at 2 o'clock that afternoon. A couple hours of registration, get into the thing, and opening at noon, and then boom, we're going to start from there. We realize some folks can't get there until after work. We know that happens. We know how that works out. But please do everything you can to maximize the program potential for your unit. Get there as quickly as you humanly can. Be prepared with what Dee has talked about and get through registration in such a wonderful, timely manner. One more unit point if I make, and that is the registration fee. You heard us mention that for Weeblos, if they are add-ons to what you're doing, we'll allow the regular fee of $80 to continue to transpire on up until the deadline in September. But the new fee for the latecomers, or the late fees for Boy Scout and crew registration, comes September 1st and changes to $100. Don't wait till then. That's just silly. We'd be happy to take the money. I got great things to put it for at the rendezvous, but it doesn't make any sense. So go ahead and make sure that all your registrations are on there and are part of it. Don't let any child miss the chance to be a part of this rendezvous and the adventure and the fun that is at. Please, please, please share this orientation in every way that you possibly can and make sure that everybody possible knows about it. You heard me mention a couple of times that this is a required orientation. It used to be when we held this outside and the weather was good, or in this room, it literally would be filled with people because we expected everybody to drive in from everywhere and be here. Well, rather than everybody coming to the mountain, we've decided to disperse the mountain out to everybody, no matter where they are in our great state of Michigan. But still, we need to know that you've seen this through either the YouTube video or you've seen this by being in the room tonight. So I need you to go to that survey that you heard mentioned by Susie that's online. It's called a program survey. Fill that out. Make sure that we know that your unit number and get that into us however you need to the service center here so that we can go through every one of the crews and As scout troops that are registered, I'd put a check mark that says you have witnessed the video or you were in person at the meeting and know the information that was shared at the meeting. Everybody understand that? Yes, sir.
Do the Weeblos have to have a leader here as well?
They really should have had a leader here. We understand that some knew that, some didn't know that, because some have read the materials and some haven't. We understand that as well. So, communicate it. Just because they're not here doesn't mean we have to lose ground. We can still get this videotape out to them and make sure that they watch it in their video den. A great tool for scout troops. Bring the Weeblos in, bring their leaders and parents in, and show the video as part of a scout troop thing. What a great opportunity for building that relationship with your Weeblos den. Okay? Great question. Thank you. So make sure you fill out that survey. Make sure you get that survey to us, because again, that will be our documentation that you have checked and been a part of this. You can also do that by going to the website and going into the comment box and marking a comment. I watched this video, and other than Mike growing a beard that looks really weird on him, we thought this was pretty good and we appreciate being a part of it and like it, et cetera, et cetera. We appreciate you being a part of that. Constantly go to the website. It will continue to have updates. As closer we get to this over the next month, more and more things will go onto the website and to other social media things to get in there. You heard Dee mention the 1st of September mail-out packet. We want that packet to be as accurate and as informative and as useful to you as possible. If you don't have a packet, leaders, after one full week, you need to let us know. Either let Matt Hogue know here at the Service Center, or have a contact get to me, and we'll find that out what went wrong. It's important that you have your registration packet, because it confirms your attendance and participation. Okay? So if you don't have it within the week of the first part of September, you contact Matt Hogue or myself, please. Critically important. Last couple of reminders that I have that I think are important. I think that the uniqueness of this program this year are many things. As I said, we did 15 new things. The photo challenge you heard talk about. I don't know how many of you have already been participating in it, but if you have, I promise you, something's happening right now from it. You're building energy for kids going to Mackinac. Everybody that's already sent me emails about it has already talked about what it's doing inside their scout troop. Wonderful. If you're taking a Patrol Leaders Council meeting or a crew meeting and you're talking about your cool gateway, all you're doing is building energy for scouting and the Mackinac Rendezvous. That's a great thing. That we're stopping under the bridge, it's the first time we've ever done that. And in all the years we've done it, we've actually paid a little extra so that we can literally come and park under the bridge for a little bit and have fun with that. You heard the mention from Sue that we listened to the evaluation from the last time. We took the last 2 sets of evaluations, and so we're not going to do an evening program on Saturday. Instead, you're going to do it in your campsite. And hopefully you'll do shared ones. I love that idea, because as most of you know that have been to Mackinac any time, by the time supper's done and you get back to your campsite, you're done. You really don't want to walk back to anything. And we understand that, and we've heard you, and have purposely planned for the activity to happen in your campsite. Come prepared. Don't make it a situation where the security people are chasing your unit down because they're running around like hellions in the camp. It makes no sense. All right? Come prepared and ready to have a great time because you've been a part of this program. Make sure you gather up your health forms, make sure you gather up your registrations, make sure they're all in alphabetical order, and make sure you come prepared to make that happen. Scout troops, I cannot emphasize enough. You miss inviting your Weeblos den, shame on you. What a great opportunity to network that with that den and to make some great things happen. This is an awesome adventure. How many of you have been to the Mackinac Rendezvous before? Any time you want a great time? No, we all know it's a great time. It's a wonderful experience. It's a great experience for our scout troops. You know, I've been thinking about, because we've been doing a lot of history to help Carl with the passport, about every single one of the rendezvous over the last, to build up to this number 15. And there's been some great information, little tidbits from back at the beginning. For instance, did you notice that the first rendezvous was only meant to be one? 1987 was the only rendezvous that was meant to be. But at the leaders' meeting Saturday night, all the leaders stood up and said to Dick Miller, the scout executive at the time, "We love this. This was a great program for our scouts. We want to be back." Because of that, it occurred in '89 and again in '91 and right on down to us. The rendezvous is all about helping your scout troop and your venture crew to have a stronger unit program. The stronger your unit program, the more kids are involved in your scouting program. The more children involved in your scouting program, the more we get to share the scout oath and law. Every leader's been in scouting for a while, you know that to be exactly true as I've shared it. I found it interesting that in looking through the 1987 stuff and actually seeing a videotape, an 8mm taping, I should say, of the, since there were no videos back then, an 8mm taping of the 1987 Mackinac Rendezvous, to see faces and know that so many of those folks have gone on. But I know that there will be this time at this rendezvous, at the 15th rendezvous, there will be people who were young scouts in 1987 at that rendezvous who will be this year with their children and their unit as an adult leader. One of the guys in this room is exactly that way. His first outing in scouting was the 1987 Mackinac Rendezvous. Just ask Matt all about it. He'll tell you, Matt will tell you all about it. I also know that one of the members on our staff was literally the forerunner of getting us to the Mackinac Island. So it's been great to hear from him how all these traditions have been built and how we've added on to them and continue to make this an exciting time. Don't miss this rendezvous. Make it a keystone part of the great program that you provide to the Boy Scouts of America. 3 thoughts to the closing. First, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being a leader of the Boy Scouts of America and making a difference in the lives of children. And lastly, thanks for being a part of this great, awesome scouting program, the Mackinac Rendezvous. God bless. Thank you, everybody.